then go and explain to my commander as to from when up to where, what and what did I do.
Ngenza njalo ngamchazela.
Then I will do that, explain to him.
Who was your supervisor or commander at the time?
Bekuba numphathi wakho ke ngaleso sikhathi.
Beku Lieutenant Colonel Van Zyl.
Lieutenant Colonel Van Zyl.
Yes, okay, continue.
Yebo. Ngiyaqhubeka.
Major Nchisi, I'd just like to take you to bundle exhibit FF4, pages 193.
Page 193 kuya ku exhibit FF4.
Are you there, Major Nchisi?
Vulele lapho.
Yebo.
Yes.
Lucas.
Maybe I'm sorry, before we move to that, the email that came from Mr. Mozilla, what page was it again? Do you remember that?
199.
199. Major Nchisi, I just want to go to the letter that you say gave you clearance or gave you a go-ahead. That was from Mozilla. Is it the one at page 199?
Lencwadi othi ke iye yakunikeza igunya lokuthi uqhubeke ngabe yiyo le ekucephe 199.
Mphathi hlelo mahle siqale ku 198 size ku 199.
Yes, Chairperson, if you can start at 198 and then to page 199.
Ku 198 uzobona ukuthi uMr Mozilla ubhalela thina la ngisebenza khona command post.
You will see that Mr. Mozilla emailed us, Your Worship, at the place where we were working, the command post.
Masiza kucephe ku 199.
When we come to page 199,
ilapho asithumela khona umlayezo ophuma kubaba uKolwane.
it's where he is now sending us the message that is coming from Kubani?
Kolwane.
From
Ambassador Kolwane.
from Mr. that is Ambassador Kolwane, Your Worship.
Yes. Now, I've had evidence that not every aircraft can just land at Waterkloof, and that only certain aircrafts, in terms of who they are, their passengers are, may be allowed to land. Are you able to tell me under what circumstances or what aircrafts may be allowed to land, or what business or passengers they should carry before they can be allowed to land, generally speaking, at Waterkloof?
Manje ke mangabe kunendiza noma indiza ekumele ziyehlele lapho kuleso sikhumulo ke ungakwazi ukusicacisela ukuthi ke na ke indiza ziphi noma ezitheni obani ekumele mhlambe beze ngalezo ndiza ukuze bavumeleke ukuthi bangazoyehlela lapho.
Ngokwazi kwami bathathu abantu abangavumela ukuthi bengene esikhulwini sombutho wezempi. Oqala umongameli.
According to my knowledge, only 3 people can be given permission or allowed to land at the base, Your Worship. The first one is the president.
Besekela umongameli nomuntu othunywa umongameli ngokwenza imisebenzi kahulumeni.
The deputy president, Your Worship, and any other person that shall have been sent by the president, Your Worship, to do government duties.
Yes. And of course, and military aircrafts.
Izindiza ke zombutho wempi zona,
zivumelekile.
they are also allowed.
Yes. And I had evidence that if an aircraft is carrying ministers, that also can be allowed. Does that accord with your understanding?
Manje kuzwakale ubufakazi bokuthi mangabe mhlambe kunendiza noma indiza ke ethwele ondunankulu ke nake nabo ba nako kungavumeleka kungendlela nawo ozwisisa ngakhona.
Ministers, not prime ministers, ministers. I think your interpretation was prime ministers.
No, I said
Or
ministers.
premiers.
Ministers.
No, uthe undunankulu ngesizulu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, ministers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ongqongqoshe ngamanye amagama.
Would that be allowed?
Kuyavumeleka lokho?
Akuvumeleka.
No, it's not allowed.
Okay. Now, in the letter that came from Mr. Mozilla, was there any indication in the letter that gave you a go-ahead? Was there any indication that this was an aircraft that would fall within circumstances where it should be permitted to land at Waterkloof?
Kule ncwadi ke nitholile evela kumnumzana uMatshila kuye kwaba khona ke nalapho ephawula khona ukuthi ke na lendiza ezofikela lapho indiza ke okudingekayo noma okufanele ukuthi ithole imvumo yokuthi inga zonzinza lapho.
Bekungacaci kahle.
It wasn't clear, Your Worship.
Yes. In order for it to be clear, would the letter from, or the communication from Mr. Mozilla have had to mention that the plane would be carrying the president or deputy president? Is that what you were looking for?
Ukuze ke kucace noma kucaceleke bekufanele mhlawumbe incwadi leyo evela kumnumzana Machila isho ukuthi le ndiza ke ezoyehlela lapho izobe ilayishe ke undunankulu noma ke na ke ungqongqoshe into enjalo.
Kunjalo.
Yes.
No. I'll repeat the question. In order for the letter from Mr. Mozilla to convey to you that this was an aircraft that would be permitted to land, did you expect it to tell you that the aircraft would be carrying the president or deputy president? Is that what you were looking for?
Ngamanye amagama ke ngale ncwadi ke umnumzana uMatshila bekayithumele ke bekade ubheke ukuthi mhlambe leyo ncwadi ke nake icacise ukuthi ke le ndiza ezofikela lapho izobe ke ithwele umongameli noma ke isekela mongameli njalo njalo.
Ngingawuphendula umbuzo lowo se. Mawen nabethumela isicelo seyisibe nesizathu esizwakalayo ukuthi bafuna ini.
Before I can answer that question, Chairperson, when they send a report, Your Worship, there would be actually a reason or a reason, Your Worship, as to why the request itself.
Isizathu besingatholakali kahle ukuthi sithini.
And the reason, Your Worship, was not clearly understood what the reason actually was.
When you say when they send the request, they would state the reason, are you talking about the request that would come from another country?
Mangabe uthi ke mabathumela isicelo fanele bachaze isizathu usho mhlawumbe isizathu esivela kwelinye ilizwe langaphandle kwaleli.
Kunjalo.
That is correct.
So when you say, in this case, the letter did not from the letter, the reason was not clear. Are you referring to the letter that request that came from India?
Ngamanye amagama mawuthi isicelo ke leso ke isizathu sakhona sasingacaci kahle usho isicelo lesi ebesikade sivela eIndia.
Kunjalo.
Quite correct.
And what about the letter from Mr. Mozilla? Where did you expect it to give you information that would satisfy you that this was an aircraft that should be permitted?
Manje ke na isicelo ositholile esivela kumnumzana uMatshila ke wawukade naw khona ubheke ukuthi ke kube khona ucaciso lokuthi le ndiza ezayo indiza ke na ke efanele ivumeleke ukuthi izonzinza lapho.
Kunjalo.
Yes, that is so.
Would it be possible that if the letter from Mr. Mozilla did not satisfy you that this would be an aircraft that should be permitted, would it be possible that you would not proceed to process the request? Or is the position that once you got a letter from Mr. Mozilla, you just had to proceed and process the request?
Kwakungenzeka ukuthi ke incwadi evela kumnumzana uMatshila mangabe ingakucaceli kahle ukuthi ichubeka ke ubongeke uchubeke ke noma ke okuyikho ukuthi ke mawuthole incwadi ethi chubeka ufanele nje ukuthi uchubeke.
Bengangiqhubeke if uma incwadi efana leyo ungayitholanga.
I couldn't have proceeded, Your Worship, if I didn't get such a letter, Your Worship.
Yes, but my question is whether it was up to you to examine the contents of the letter from Mr. Mozilla and make a decision whether it's fine, you can go ahead and process the request and approve if you were the one to approve, or whether as long as Mr. Mozilla said in his letter, go ahead and approve, then you were bound to go ahead and approve.
Yeah. Akushoyo umhlalo ukuthi ke bekungasi ukuthi wena njengomuntu othole lo ncwadi ufanele ukuthi ke na ke ucwaningisise imininingwane yayo ke uma ngabe mhlambe unganeli siwa ke na ke yiloko okusho kulo ncwadi ungachubeki ngachubeki ukuya phambili ke noma bekufanele nje ukuthi mawuthole leyo ncwadi evela kuye ke uchubeke noma kanjani kuwenza lokho.
Bengeke ngibe nalo igunya namandla uqhubeka ngaleso sicelo.
Who didn't have any powers, Your Worship, or the might of continuing, Your Worship, if that was the case.
So if you were not satisfied with the contents of the letter from Mr. Mozilla, you would not proceed, you would not process the request. Is that correct?
Ngamanye amagama mangabe ubongeke uneliswe ile ncwadi ke na ke ephuma kumnumzana uMatshila yesicelo ke bongeke uze uchubeke ke uvume noma uvulele ukuthi leyo ndiza ingazo yehlela lapho.
Kunjalo.
Correct.
Yes, and did the letter from Mr. Mozilla in this particular case satisfy you that this was a case where you should process the request, and if you were the person to approve the request, to also approve it?
Ngamanye amagama le ncwadi evela kumnumzana uMatshila ke iye yakwenelisa ukuthi ngempela ungachubeka kanti ke mangabe uwe umuntu ke ofanele ukuthi ke na ke udlulise injongo zaloso sicelo ufanele nje ukuthi uchubeke.
Angazi che ukuthi ngaqala emuva kuze kufike kule letter kule ncwadi.
I don't know, Chairperson, if I can start a little bit behind and explain coming further to this letter.
Yes, you may do so because it is an important part of your evidence.
Yeah, uthi ungakwenza lokho ngoba into ebalulekile ubufakazi bakho.
Ngoba bese ngichazile ukuthi isikhathi esiningi eDeco ngisebenza no Mr Machile.
As I've already stated that many a times at DECO, I'm working hand in hand with Mr. Machil.
Sithe masikhuluma no Mr Machile ngibuza ukuthi isicelo samandiya sesikangakanani ukuthi kuqhutshekwe ngaso.
When I ask the request by the Indian people as to how far it is so that we can continue with it,
Ngamchazela uMr Machile ukuthi isizathu lokhu ngikufonela njalo yisiphi isizathu sokuthi abasendiya bafuna ukwazi ukuthi kwenzakalani nesicelo sabo.
and then I explained to him the reason why I'm calling him always, Your Worship, telling him that the people from India, Your Worship, they want to know how far their request has gone, Your Worship.
Mangisakhuluma no Mr Machile wangitshela ukuthi udaba lolu alisekho ezandleni zakhe.
When I spoke to Mr. Machila, that's when he then informed me that this issue is no more in his hands, Your Worship.
Ulapho kwaqhamuka igama ka Ambassador Kolwane.
That's where Ambassador Kolwane's name then surfaced.
I-email lena okanye incwadi le esho ukuthi siqhubeke ngesicelo. Yayibhale uMr Machila kodwa iphuma kuMr Kolwane.
The email, Your Worship, that gave us the go-ahead to continue, Your Worship, Chairperson, was actually written by Mr. Machila, and then Yona Yaipuma, Yaipalo,
Iphuma kuMnumzane Kolwane.
Email,
Email
Yaipuma bo.
ibhale uMr Machila.
The email was written by Mr. Machila,
I-email ewukuthi iphuma kuMr Kolwane ukuthi asiqhubeke nesicelo.
which is the email that was from Mr. Kulwani, that we must continue.
Yes.
Kube incwadi efanele nebingekho. Bengeke siqhubeke nesicelo.
If there wasn't such an email or letter, we shouldn't have continued with the request.
Kodwa ke ayifani nencwadi esihlele siyithola.
But instead, Your Worship, it doesn't look like the one that we normally get.
In note verbal ephuma eDeco is a command post.
The note verbal that is coming from
Deco
DERCO
to command post.
to command post
Ayifani nale.
doesn't look like this one.
Yikho ngicacisa ukuthi le kwakuyi-email ephuma eDeco kodwa incwadi e-note verbal ayifani nale.
That's why I say this is an email that is coming from DERCO, but the note verbal I finally. But the note verbal doesn't look like this one.
Yes, I understood you earlier on to say the only document that gives you a go-ahead to allow a commercial aircraft to land at Waterkloof is a note verbal. Is that correct?
Uthi-ke kuzwisise ngaphambilini ukuthi-ke incwadi ekuyiyona kuphela engakuvumela ukuthi-ke na-ke uchubeke-ke i-note verbal.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, that is true.
And this letter that you say gave you a go-ahead from Mr. Machila was not a note verbal. Is that correct?
Le ncwadi-ke na-ke evela kuMachila-ke ekunikeze igunya lokuthi uchubeke bekungeyona i-note verbal.
Bengesiyo i-note verbal le esijwayele ukusebenza ngayo.
It wasn't the note verbal which we normally had to do with, Your Worship.
Yes. Did it look like a note verbal, even if it's not the one you normally work with?
Kodwa-ke ibukeka njenge-note verbal noma-ke kungasile enivamise ukusebenza ngayo.
Le ithi qhubekani nesicelo ngoba iphuma kusikhulu esiphezulu.
This one says go ahead with the request, Your Worship, because it comes from the highest rank, Your Worship.
It's just an email.
Email,
Yebo kunjalo.
yes.
One would have expected that you would not process it because it was not a note verbal. Why did you nevertheless process it?
Uthi ke umuntu ke naka bekazomela ukuthi beungafanele uqhubeke ngoba bekuyona ke I note verbal kepha ke yini ke okwenza ukuthi uze uqhubeke.
Angazi imphatho ohlelo ngabuya futhi emuva ngikhulume kuze kufike kule lencwadi.
I don't know if I can go back a bit until I come to this email.
Yes, no, that's fine. It's important, yeah.
Yeah, uthi kulungile.
Isizathu sokuthi siqhubeke ngalencwadi
The reason why we continue to worship as far as this email is concerned,
ngase ngikhulume nabantu ababili engajwayele ukukhuluma nabo.
I had already spoken to two people, Your Worship, whom I was not used to talk to.
Yes.
Oqala kwaku Colonel Anderson,
The first one was Colonel Anderson.
owesibili uyi mnumzana uKolwane.
The second one was Mr. Kolwani.
Njoba incwadi isho ukuthi isicelo sendiza fune solihlala esikhumulweni sendiza samasoja siyavumeleka.
As I've already stated that this letter said the request from the Indian flight to go and land at the air base is allowed.
Yiko kwasinika igunya lokuthi siqhubeke nesicelo.
That's why it gave us the might, Your Worship, Mr. Chair, to continue with the request.
Did you find out why you were not being furnished with a note verbal as was normal?
Uye wazama ukuthola ukuthi kungani ningathunyelwanga note verbal njengoba bekuvamisile.
Enkulumeni yethu no Mr. Machile. Enkulumeni yethu no Mr. Machile. Wathi lolu daba alisekho ezandleni zakhe.
Your Worship, in our talks with Mr. Machila, he told me that this issue was no more in his hands.
Does that mean you did ask him, why am I not getting a note verbal as is normal, or is the position that you didn't ask that question?
Ngamanye amagama lokho kusho ukuthi uyombuza ukuthi kungani kungathunyelwanga inote verbal ke na ke noma into ongazange usayibuza.
Safika kulo nkulumo. Safika kulo nkulumo yikho kwaze safika enkulumeni yokuthi uludaba olufana nalolu alisekho ezandleni zakhe.
We came
Mr. Makolwane.
to that talk, Your Worship, and that's when he then explained to me that that issue is no more in his own hands. What il kubani? Loltaba alisekho ezandleni zakhe
Mr. Machile alisekho ezandleni ka Mr. Machile alisezandleni ka mnumzana uKolwane.
And that issue is now in the hands of Mr. Kolwani.
Yes, okay, and I assume that thereafter you had some discussion with Mr. Kolwane to see whether he was the one who was going to give you an explanation as to why you were not being given a note verbal in this particular case as it used to be normal.
Yebo ke ngaloko ke na ke uthi ke na uyathemba ukuthi uyawafanele ukuthi ukhulume nomnumzane uKolwani ke ukuze ke ubuze ukuthi kungani ngingazange ngithumelwe inote verbal njengokujwayelekile.
Yebo, ngambuza.
Yes, I did ask him.
And what did he say?
Wase uthini?
Hlalo ngoba sesiside isikhathi
Yes,
2013
yes, no, that's fine.
naye ngikhona ukusho ukuthi amagama wakhe awuphimisa ngomlomo ayethini.
Mr. Chair, seeing that is now quite long since 2013, I cannot be able to recall the exact word that he uttered through his mouth.
Yes.
Encwadini yami engiyiphethe exhibiting 66 FF6
The document that is in front of me, exhibit FF6,
Yes.
kukhona lapho engivumelana khona nombiko ukuthi sasixoxa sithini nomnumzana uKolwane.
there is where I agree with the report as to what were we talking about with Mr. Kulwani.
Yes.
Kule exhibition bengikhuluma ngayo ku paragraph 8
On what page?
page 2
Page 2, paragraph 8.
Yes.
ingxoxo yami ephakathi kwami nomnumzana uKolwane.
Those are the talks between myself and Mr. Kulwani.
Yes.
So ingxoxo leyo ithathelwe ku report ye cluster eku page 8
That, those talks, Worship, were taken,
ku cluster report
taken from the cluster report, which is on
page 8
page 8.
paragraph 2.117
Page 8, paragraph 2, 1.17.
I'm sorry. I will let you continue just now. I just want to satisfy myself on this aspect. I'm going to the report of the JCPS cluster. Is that where you are referring us to?
yes ngicela silungise sihlalo
Yes.
ngicela silungise sihlalo
Yes.
Can we make some corrections?
page 8
It's page 8,
ku report paragraph 2.118
page 8 from the report, Worship, which is paragraph 2.1,
18
8.18, Worship.
At page 8, at the bottom of the page 8 of the report, which is page 12 of the paginated exhibit FF1,
Indeed so.
and paragraph 2.1.18. There the report says the Chief of State Protocol then called Sergeant Major GC and stated, and it's quoted, I believe you have spoken to Colonel Anderson, close quotes. GC confirmed this and stated that he would go ahead with the clearance immediately. GC asked whether he should fax the clearance to Mr. Mozilla, Mr. William Mozilla, Directorate State Visits, DERCO. The Chief of State Protocol asked where GC was at the time and was unable to understand the explanation given. He then requested GC to email a copy of the clearance to his private email address and to his official email address. Is that what you are referring to?
Iyo le okhuluma ngayo.
yebo iyona ingxoxo engayikhuluma nomnumzana uKolwane.
Yes, that was the talks between me and Mr. Kulwani.
That doesn't reflect that you two of you talked about why you were not being finished with a note verbal. Maybe it is somewhere else. Do you know whether it is somewhere else?
Ayicacisi ukuthi kukhona la uye wakhuluma naye khona ngendaba ye-note verbal.
Masibuyela
Kwenye indawo.
masibuyela futhi esihlalo
If we go back again,
kuyo ku report
Chairperson, on the same report,
Yes,
ku page 8
page 8,
yes,
paragraph 2.117
yes,
paragraph 2.117,
yes.
ingxoxo yami no Colonel Anderson eqhubeka iziyoxhumana nengxoxo kaMnumzana Kolwane.
That was the talks between myself and Colonel Anderson, which continues until the talks between myself and Colonel Kulwani.
Yes, yeah, paragraph 2.1.17 at page 12 of Exhibit F1, which is the report of the JCPS cluster, says Lieutenant Colonel Anderson returned Sergeant Major Nchisi's call. Anderson stated that she had just spoken to the Chief of State Protocol, who had informed her that Nchisi had rejected the request. She questioned him as to how he could have refused such a request from the Chief of State Protocol. Nchisi clarified that he had requested written confirmation. Anderson then stated that, in quotes, in confidentiality, I must be very careful now. Our number one knows about this. It is political. Allow them. I'll phone the ambassador back to find out who is the senior minister, close quotes. JC asked Anderson to confirm that the base could only receive flights carrying heads of state and ministers. Anderson responded that it depends on the visit type and that it would be acceptable for a private visit if DERCO approves. It is not a problem. Yes, my dear, they can, close quotes. So you say that is what you were told when you kept on asking why you were not being furnished with a note verbal. Is that correct?
Ikona loko bekade utshelwa kona mangabe ubuza ukuba kungani ungathunyelwanga inote verbal.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. If I just may assist, there is a document on Exhibit F4 on page 123. This is a memorandum, and I see on page 124 that it has been deposed to. There's a stamp at the bottom by the Department of Defense. From paragraphs 3 of that statement on that memorandum 123, this from paragraphs 3 onwards until paragraph 7.
So go paragraph 3, go page 113. Yeah, 1 to 3. We have a page. Yeah.
Yes, Ngiyabonga.
Yes. There.
And the contents of this would be the reason as to why you never, questioning why you never received a normal, non-verbal.
Ngamanye amagama ke lokho okubhalelana ke ikona okuyisizathu esenze ukuthi ungasabuzi ngayo leyo novel.
Ngicela ungiphendula ngikuzwa kahle.
Can you
Major Nchisi, let me just rephrase. Let's just go to paragraph 4, that would be on page 124.
say go page paragraph 4 1 to 4?
Chair, with your permission, may I read this into the record?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Colonel Anderson returned my call.
Well, you must first just say that this is a memorandum that appears to have been written by Mr. Nchisi and was addressed to CJOPS. Do you confirm, Mr. Nchisi, that that memorandum was written by you?
Uyavuma ukuthi ke na ke lo statement les no memorandum le ibhalwe uwe?
Yebo ngiyavuma.
Yes, I confirm that.
Yes, it is dated 31 May 2013, and it is at page 123 of Exhibit F4. Then you can read the relevant part that
Yes.
you want to read.
Paragraph 4 on page 124 of this document, of this memorandum, it states that Lieutenant Colonel Anderson returned my call. She believed I rejected the request. I mentioned to her that I asked for a written confirmation from DERCO for landing clearance at FAWK, that I assume in front would be the Air Force Base in Waterkloof.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes?
Kunjalo.
Yes, that is correct.
I asked Lieutenant Colonel Anderson who should be received by the Air Force in terms of VIP, because of my knowledge, only head of state and deputies. Lieutenant Colonel Anderson responded that it depends on the visit type. Also, the ministers may arrive at the Air Force if it's not too busy and the availability of space for parking for the flight. I should allow them. The number one, in brackets, president, knows about the flight. Was this the contents of your conversation?
Naloko ke okunye kwaloku bekade nixoxa ngako aqeda ukufunda ke ummeli.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, there is also a sentence that's quite in point at page 123, towards the end of paragraph 3, where you wrote, the ambassador telephoned Air Command Post to inquire as to progress with the clearance request from Indian High Commission. I spoke to him and explained the nature of FAWK being used for the port of entry, and I indicated to him that FAWK can only allow head of state, I think that's Waterkloof, head of state and their deputies. The ambassador responded that there would be 4 to 5 ministers on board. I requested a note verbal from him. The ambassador responded by saying the challenge was that this could not be put in writing, and the president authorized the landing of that flight. I should call Lieutenant Colonel Anderson to confirm that. Is that what you were told by Ambassador Kolwane?
Yebo.
Iloko kutshelo ambassador ke ukolwane loko aqeda ukufunda.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is true.
Okay. Is your evidence, were you saying it was after you had been told all of these things that you decided to process the request?
Kungako uthi ke emva kokuthi utshelwe yonke lento otshelwe yona la kulapho ubone khona ukuthi ke uchubeke na nokudlulisa leso sicelo noma uprocess isicelo leso.
Emva kwalezingxoxo yikho okwenza ukuthi sithathe isizathu ukuthi siqhubeke nesicelo.
After all these talks, Your Worship, that is when we had to make a decision that we proceed with the request. Yes.
Thank you.
Major Nchisi, you have spoken about, the non-verbal not being the normal non-verbal that you would receive. Is that correct?
Can you repeat?
He has spoken about the non-verbal being it wasn't the normal non-verbal that they would receive.
Or uthi ke bekungasi non-verbal evamisile ke na ke lewa kwade uyitholile.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes.
And am I correct in saying that a normal non-verbal would identify either the head of state, the deputy, or whatever ministry the passengers, the flight would be carrying? Is that correct?
Kunjalo ukuthi ke ngokuvamisile ke na ke i-non-verbal izochaza ukuthi ke mangabe kunendiza efuna ke imvumo kuzoba khona mhlambe ke na ke umuntu onje mhlambe ngumholi wezwe noma ke ungqongqoshe noma ikhulu ethiza.
Yebo kunjalo. I-not verbal isuke inemininingwane eminingi nesicelo sendiza ezayo.
Yes, a non-verbal, Your Worship, will have quite some number of particulars, Your Worship, according to the request for the flight that will be coming in.
Iphinde ichaze kabanzi ngabantu abasendizeni.
And then it will further explain extensively about the people or the crew that will be in the flight.
Ichaze kabanzi ngemisebenzi yabo abayenzayo okanye izikhundla zabo.
Also explain extensively about their positions and their respective duties they are doing.
Nokuthi isuka kuphi iyohlala kuphi.
And as to from where it is from and where it is going to land.
And the normal note verbal would be the previous example that we have noted on page 87, the example from DIRCO.
Ejwayelekile i-non-verbal izoba yilena ewumfanekiso esiyibonile ke ku page 87.
That would be Exhibit FF8, page 87.
Ku page 87.
Do you
of
need him to
which
go
file?
back to it? Because
No,
we
Chair,
did confirm it.
Not to go back, just to explain that what he's just said, that would be the normal, how a normal note verbal would look in
Yes,
the
I'm saying
contents.
he did say that before. Do you want him to repeat it?
No, Chair.
Remember when you showed it, my recollection is that he looked at it, or did he not look at it, and confirmed exactly that what he had received was not a note verbal as they know it.
Indeed so, Chair. Major Nchisi, so in this instance, from the look of it and what you would normally know, that this non-verbal that's sent by email, this confirmation email to go ahead was irregular.
Ngamanye amagama ke i-non-verbal lena ke okuchazwa ukuthi ke i-non-verbal ethunyelwako nge-email ke na ke le non-verbal wena noma lokho okutholile bekungasi i-non-verbal ke esethethweni oyaziyo ke noma phele.
Le engayitholayo bengasiyo umfanekiso we-note verbal efuneke iphathe yonke imininingwane ye-note verbal.
Look, the one I received, Your Worship, was not the normal one, which had all the particulars, Your Worship, which the normal non-verbal would carry.
Major Nchisi, if I could take you to Exhibit FF4 on pages 193.
Page 9?
193.
193.
Yebo sengivulile.
Yes, I am there.
Can you identify that document?
Kuyini lencwadi ke phambi kwakho?
Yebo ngiyazi, it's a cover page ye Defense Intelligence.
It's a cover page for the Defense Intelligence.
Ms. Major Nchisi, are you on the correct page? 193 of Exhibit FF4.
Oh, no. 193.
Ngiyaxolisa,
Oh,
bengekho kuleyo page.
Pardon, I was on the wrong page.
Major Nchisi, can you identify that document?
Ungachaza ukuthi ke yani ke le ncwadi noma document?
I-document ephambi kwami i-RSA 05
The
external
document in front of me is RSA
05
05,
external clearance.
which is an external clearance.
Can you talk about when would this document be issued, and can you talk to the contents of this document?
Ungachaza ukuthi le ncwadi ke ikhishwa nini ke ma kwenzekalani ke na namininingwane yayo ephakathi kwayo.
Incwadi lena ichaza ukuthi iphuma kuphi iyakobani
This document explains where is it from and to which people is it going to.
iphinde ichaze ukuthi incwadi lena ihlelwa ubani,
and as to who the author of it is,
iphinde ichaze ukuthi isicelo sifakwe ubani,
and who the person that is making a request is,
okwakakhulu isizathu sayo ukuthi sithini isizathu sale sicelo.
and the reason for such a request.
Okay, Major Nchisi, so on the top page, on the left-hand side, inquiries go to, it is written there, Warrant Officer T. Nchisi. The requester is the Indian delegation. The contact person is Captain Kati, and the address is the India Embassy. And at the bottom of the page, we have an authority off sign, Lieutenant Colonel S.J. Fansale.
Uthi ke iyachaza phezulu ukuthi ke ize kuwe ke iphuma ke ku bantu ke na ke abavela eNdiya ke enzansi iyachaza ke nokuthi ke umuntu ke othintekayo futhi ke uColonel Fansale.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is so.
And would it be correct that Colonel Fansale would have to sign these documents for the clearance to be valid?
Kunjalo ukuthi ke na ke uColonel Fansale ke yena bayifanele assigned le ncwadi ke na ke ukwenzela ukuthi ke na ke izokwazi ukuphumelelisa isicelo.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is true.
And knowing the non-normality of the note verbal that you had received and you had questioned it and so forth, did you bring this to Lieutenant Colonel Fansale's attention before he authorized this clearance?
Ngokubona ukuthi bongatholanga i-non-verbal evamsile, uye umazisa uColonel Fansale ukuthi ke kwenzakalani awutholanga i-non-verbal efanele ngaphambi kokuthi ke avume noma ke authorize lesicelo.
Njoba bese ngichazile sihlalo. Makufika lesi sinqumo ukuthi uColonel Fansale assign.
As I've already explained, when it came to the finality that Colonel Fansale must sign,
Usuku sumtshelile izizathu nezingqinqaba okuhlanganene nezinazo kuze kufike lesi sinqumo ukuthi kuze kuphume iloko iclearance.
you shall have already told him about the problems and the reasons why you came to such a decision that you have to continue.
You would have briefed him fully about the process up to that point. Is that
Uzabe
what you mean?
umtshelile ke ukuthi kuhambe kanjani kwenzakaleni uhlelo lonke ukufikela la kulolu daba lakhe.
Yebo kunjalo umtshela ngohlelo usaqala umtshele ngohlelo sekufika lapha azofaka khona isixivizo sakhe ukuthi singaqhubeka.
Yes, you tell him about the onset of the request or the beginning, Your Worship, until to the finality of it where he must finally sign and give a go-ahead, Your Worship.
Major Nchisi, can you just short, in just a short sentence, just relay the conversation that you had with Colonel Fansale?
Kafishane ke ungachaza ukuthi ke ingxoxo phakathi kwakho noFansale kwakuyini?
Noma ngeke ngisakhumbula amagama ngoba isikhathi sesiside.
Even though I cannot remember the exact words, seeing that it happened quite long ago.
Maybe before he answers, what he has said is that the norm is that by the time he would ask Fansale to sign, he would have briefed him from the beginning of the process up to that point. Do you want him to mention the whole process?
No, Chair, this was just, shortly on how did he relate to Colonel Van Zyl that, the non-verbal was irregular, and also in terms of the conversation he had with Lieutenant Colonel Anderson and Ambassador Kolwane.
I think maybe it would be better if you put a specific question out of that whole process, what you would like him to deal with. If you want to ask him whether he told Mr. Van Zyl that there was something irregular about this, put that question. If you want if you want to ask him whether he told Mr. Van Zyl that there was no note verbal,
As the Chair,
and
please.
instead there was just a letter, just direct that. Otherwise,
Indeed
he
so.
would start all over again and then tell the whole process. So he has told us the process, and he has told us that he would have informed Mr. Van Zyl of the process from beginning to that point. So he would have briefed him.
Yes, indeed, so Chair. Thank you, Chair. Major Nchisi, did you inform Colonel Van Zyl about the note verbal not being normal and it coming through as an email instead, and not having the correct contents of a normal a note verbal?
Uyawamtshela uColonel Van Zyl ukuthi ke na ke i-non-verbal lo oyitholile ke na ke yayikade ke na ke ingaphelelanga ke kanti ke inganawo eminye imininingwane ekumele ibe nawo ke nje ngale ovamise ukuthi ke uyithole.
Kwakubalulekile ukuthi ngimtshele uColonel Van Zyl. Isizathu salokho ebesemusha kulezi sikhundla esebenza kuso.
It was very important that I tell him about that, and the reason being, he was still new in the position he was holding at that time.
So ubusha bakhe we xhumeke kithi ukuthi ulwazi esimnika lona ulwazi angaqhubeka asebenze ngalo.
And as a new person, Your Worship, he was relying on us, Your Worship, to give him the knowledge, Your Worship, about what we know is normally happening in the process, Your Worship.
Ekumtsheleni kwami lokho yikho kwafika esinqumeni assign.
After informing him that, Your Worship, that's when he came to the decision that he can sign, Your Worship.
Major Nchisi, there was another request that came in, say for the main Airbus that landed. There was a request for helicopters to land at the airbase, is that correct?
Kuthi ke kuye kwaba khona ezinye icelo nje ngeindiza okuthiwa ama-bus kanye ke na ke indiza zohlobo lophephela emhlaba okumele ke zizozinza lapho esikhumulweni sombutho kunjalo.
Zazikhona izicelo ezifana nalezo. Izicelo ezifana nalezo zazihambisana nesicelo sendiza elendile ebus eWaterkloof.
There were such requests, Your Worship, and such requests, Your Worship, were uthi bezihambisana nani?
Nesicelo sendiza esasihlala eWaterkloof
Oh.
ebus.
That request, Your Worship, was in line with the request of the bus, Your Worship, beyihlale eWaterkloof le bus,
Ebizolenda
or
eWaterkloof.
which was going to land at Waterkloof.
Ngoba isizathu salokho. Indiza lezo land ezohlala eWaterkloof ayiphethe abantu abawu 217.
And because the reason for that, Your Worship, the airplane that was going to land at Waterkloof, Your Worship, was carrying,
217.
carrying 217 people or crew, Your Worship.
So ngamanye amazwi indiza lezi ezincane zayizosusa abantu eWaterkloof zibase lapha endaweni lapha abazifuneka beye khona.
And because of that, Your Worship, the other requests for the light aircrafts, Your Worship, were the light aircrafts which were going to carry people from Waterkloof to where they were going to, Your Worship.
Chair, that request can be found on page 106 and 107 of Exhibit FF5. Is that the request, Major Nchisi?
Yebo kunjalo.
That is correct.
And the subsequent clearance is in Exhibit FF4 on page 194. Is that correct?
Clearance ke yokugcina ke iku kepha page
194.
194 yalo bufakazi kunjalo.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is correct.
And in terms of the Airbus and the light aircraft, was the same processes followed in terms of the two requests?
Maqondana nalezi celo ke okusho ukuthi ke ese bus nalendiza ezincane ke nake kwalandelwa uhlelo olufanayo.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is true.
Let's go back to when you took the letter from Mr. Machila to, is it Lieutenant Colonel Van Zyl?
Asibuyele muva mawuthola incwadi evela kuMnumzane Machila uyisa ku Colonel Van Zyl. Kunjalo Colonel Van Zyl?
Yebo.
Yes. Was Lieutenant Colonel Van Zyl the person who was supposed to approve the authorization, the clearance?
Colonel Van Zyl uya umuntu ke nake okugcina bekufanele ayenze imvumo ke avume ukuthi ke na leyo ndiza ingazofika ihlale lapho ke ayenze ne clearance yakhona.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is true.
Were you supposed to make a recommendation to him as to whether you thought he should provide the authorization or not?
Wakati wena ufanele ukuthi mhlambe ke nake unikele ngamanye amagama ke nake ngendlela wena ozizwa ngakhona ukuthi ngempela ufanele ukuthi ke anikeze imvumo noma i-authorization leyo.
Ngencazelo yami nanolwazi
According to my explanation and the knowledge that I have,
lwesicelo
knowledge, Your Worship, of the request,
uma umtshela umphathi wakho ukuthi kusuke la kwaze kwagcina lapha
when you tell your supervisor or commander, Your Worship, where it started until where,
sekuyoba ngokucabanga kwakho ukuthi wenze njani.
that is now going to be his thinking or decision as to what he's going to do.
So you were not required to indicate whether you thought he should approve it or not approve. You are simply supposed to brief him fully about the process and place the relevant documentation before him, and he would have to make a decision himself.
Wena wawungafanele noma ke ukuthi ucacisele ke ngokwakho umbono ukuthi wena ubona kunjena, wena bewufanele nje umnikeze impepha umchazele ke uhlelo nilithathile ukufikeka lapho emaphethelweni ke yena bekufanele nje nake avume noma asayine izincwadi zesivumelwano sokuthi ngempela lokho makwenzeke.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is true.
If you were yourself not satisfied that it should be approved, were you still obliged to take everything to him for him to make a decision, or if you were not satisfied that everything was in order, you could have not processed this whole request up to him?
Uma ngabe wena ngokwakho wawunganeliseki ukuthi lesicelo isicelo ke na ke sisemthethweni noma esifanele ukuthi ke singafakwa uzo sa thatha lezo zimpepha ukuze ziyofika kuye okanye ke na ke bewungeke uchubeke nje kusukela mangabe leso sicelo sifakwa.
Uma usembuthweni wezempi kunohlaka obika kulo okuthile.
Look, Chairperson, when you are in the army, your ship, there is a department where you report to.
Ngeke uzumbuze okanye ucabangele ukuthi umtshele uthini umuntu oyisina yakho.
You cannot ask or think what is supposed to be done, your ship, if a person is your senior.
Did you say that you can't tell your senior what he should do?
Ngamanye amagama wena ke okushoyo ukuthi bowungeke utshele umphathi wakho ukuthi yini akumele akwenze.
Hlobo ngeke uzuyitshele isina yakho ukuthi yenzeni.
Totally, you cannot tell your senior what to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to refer to the SANDF board file, which is Exhibit FF4. Starting at page 324. Just for clarity purposes, this is the transcript of the Board of Inquiry into Lieutenant Colonel Anderson that was held in Pretoria. The front page of this transcript can be found on page 284.
Sorry, what is it, 284?
284 is just the cover page for the transcript,
Okay,
the
but you want us
identification
to
of
go
the
to-
document.
You want us to go to 324, eh?
Yes, 324, Chair, please.
We are there.
Major Nchisi, are you there?
Yes, 3 to 4.
Uyabona iqephe u3 to 4? Yes.
Yebo.
Just to deter in just a repetition of evidence, I'm just going to pick it up from the fifth line on that document.
Uzoya ke kumugqa wesihlanu ke ukusuka kule ncwadi.
Where it starts with W.O. Nchisi.
Where you start with?
It starts with W.O. Nchisi, the first line of page 324. Chair, if I may read that in the record, or should I just give a synopsis of the contents
That-
of...
Well, that looks like evidence that he has already given, isn't it?
That is just a slight introduction to the core of what we're trying to get at. So we can.
Well, I don't want us to waste time by repeating evidence that has been said.
Yes. If we could just page to 325
Yes.
of that document. If we go to line if we go to lines 8 of that document,
At page
Start-
325?
325, line 8.
Yeah.
Warrant Officer Nchisi states that I have spoke to Mr. Kolwane. He indicated to me that the sensitivity of the flight is not supposed to be on a note verbal because it's a high security risk. Then we skip a line there on line number 12. Warrant Officer Nchisi states, we need to go ahead with that clearance, although I was not happy with the response. That is why the second time I spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Anderson, she also confirmed that I must go ahead because the President authorized the flight.
Uyabona la ummeli wayefunda khona
Yebo ngiyabona.
kula beku isigungu esemibuzo noma i-board of inquiry.
Major Nchisi, did you say at that board of inquiry that you had spoken to Mr. Kolwane and he had indicated that the sensitivity of the flight was not supposed to be on the note verbal because it was a high security risk? Did you say that?
Lapho uthi uyakhuluma nomnumzana uKolwane ukuthi ke na-ke ngendlela ke indaba yalendiza ke ekumele ize ke ihlongozwe ngakhona ke abekungamelanga ke na ke nokuthi mhlambe kube khona inote verbal ngoba
It is a high sensitivity risk, security risk.
kanti ke na futhi ke na ke into ke na ke bonakala isendabeni olukhulu ke na ke lokuthi kumele kube into ezovikeleka ngoba ke na ke umongameli uye ke ovume ukuthi lokho kwenzeke ifike.
Cha, angikaze ngisho lokho.
No, I never said that.
So you did not say at the board of inquiry that Mr. Kolwane, you had spoken to Mr. Kolwane and that he had indicated that to you that the sensitivity of the flight was not supposed to be on the note verbal, and that this was because it was a high security risk. You did not say that at the board of inquiry.
Azange mawukhuluma naye ke umnumzana uKolwane asho ukuthi ke le ndaba yalendiza ke ngokubona ukuthi ke iphuthuma kakhulu kanti futhi ke kudingeka uvikeleko layo oluphezulu azange kushiwo lokho.
Cha.
No.
On that same page, on 325, that would be line 28 on that page, at the bottom of the page.
Well, maybe let's do the other one that you had mentioned. On that page, Major Jesse, it's also reflected that you told that board of inquiry that, and I read, we need to go ahead with that clearance. Although I was not happy with that response, that is why I even the second time spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Anderson. She also confirmed that I must go ahead because the president authorized that flight.
Okubhalwe la.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did the interpreter interpret?
I didn't get that.
Okay, I'm going to repeat. Let him read as I repeat. Did you say this at the Board of Inquiry, Major Jesse? As reflected at page 225, somewhere in the middle of the page, we need to go ahead with that clearance. Although I was not happy with that response, that is why I even the second time spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Anderson. She also confirmed that I must go ahead because the president authorized that flight.
Ukushiwo lapho kunjalo iloko ke oyowakushilo ukuthi ke na ke nifanele ukuthi niqhubeke ninikeze leyo ndiza imvumo noma iclearance ke kanti ke na ke no Colonel ke Anderson bese nivumelane ukuthi niqhubeke.
Okubhalela angivumelani nakho. Isizathu salokho kuphikisana nengushilo ku statement sami.
What is written here, I don't agree with, Your Worship, because it is against what I've said in my statement.
Kuphinde kuphikisane nombiko oku cluster report.
And it is also against the report, which is on the cluster report, Your Worship.
Major Nchisi, are you stating that you never uttered these words, irrespective of it being contrary to the statement and the cluster report?
Ngamanye amagama ke uchaza ukuthi awukaze ukhiphe lamagama ke wena ke noma ke kuyo i-cluster report noma ke ku statement sakho.
Amagama abhalwe la ngiyaphikisana nawo.
The words that are written here, I am against, Your Worship.
Yes.
So Major Nchisi, are you stating that the transcription done here is incorrect?
Ngamanye amagama lokho obekade ke na ke ku recordiwe abaye bakubhala ngamagama phansi ke ngombhalo ngamanye amagama uchaza ukuthi ke akusiloko bekushilo.
Okubhalwe la ngiyaphikisana nakho.
Yes, whatever is written here, I disagree with.
On that same page, on 325, at the bottom of that page, it would start at line 28, where it stated, for that time it was amazed. If he, brackets she, asked me why you rejected the what do you call the request from the chief. So, but because she says to me, she indicated that it is the president's authorization, and that is why we go ahead with it.
Uyabona la qeda ukufunda khona?
Yebo ngiyabona.
Yes.
On what page were you reading just now?
Chair, that is on line 28 on page 325, that same page that we were on.
Okay. Well, let me ask this, Major Jesse. I thought your evidence earlier on was to the effect that Ambassador Kolwane had said, and I may be mistaken, when you were insisting on the note verbal, had said that this was a unique case, and that when you asked for written confirmation, said what you asked for could not be put in writing. Was that something else?
Uthi icabanga ke ngaphambileni ethula ufakazi bakho uthi ukhuluma no mnumzane ke ukulwani ke uye wathi ke na ke lolu udaba olukhethekile mangabe udinga ukuthi ke unikezwe mhlambe ke na incwadi ke na ke ngokombhalo ke na ke kulapho ayewathi ke akunasidingo saloko kunjalo.
Mphathi ohlelo. njoba bengishilo okubhalwe amagama abhalwe la akusiwa wami.
Chairperson, as I've already stated, Your Worship, the wording, Your Worship, in this transcript, on this transcripts
Yes.
are not my wordings, Your Worship.
Kubukeka sengathi kunomuntu obhala amagama la
Yes,
aphuma kimi
yes.
yikho ngavumelani nento ebhalwe.
Okay.
It looks like as if there is someone who printed this wording, Your Worship, as if they are coming from me, which I disagree with.
Do those words or those parts of that page to which you were referred, do they make points that are true, but is the wording, is the words that are used that you don't agree with, but you agree with the points, but you may have used different words to make the same point?
Lamagama ke okhuluma ngawo lapho othi awaphumi kuwe ke anikeza umqondo mhlambe othize ke noma ke kunamagama okuthi ke alapho kodwa ke na ke kungewona wona amagama wena ngokwakho owashilo.
Amagama abhalwe la awasho lokho engakushoyo mangikhuluma nabo ngocingo.
The wording that are appearing here, Your Worship, they don't mean what I said to them as I was talking to them telephonically.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
Chair, we are going to move on to Exhibit FF8.
What will need to be investigated later is the issue of the transcript, so that for later on, maybe on another day, when there can be clarity as to the accuracy of the transcript,
We've made a
Okay.
note of it. Thank you, Chair.
so that in the end we know what the position is. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Chair. As I stated, we're moving to Exhibit FF8. Chair, I'm not particularly sure. I assume that it's been done. There is a folder in FF8 with a divider with the number 4 on it. And it should be the same as well with Major Nchisi. That would be on paginated page 161.
161. Yes. Let's see if he has got it. I think he has got it. Yes.
Now, this is a book written by author Peter Louis Myburgh, The Republic of Gupta, A Story of State Capture, wherein Major Nchisi has been mentioned in this book. And we have noted and highlighted certain extracts that, if the chair allows, to read in that record and have Major Nchisi comment on those allegations by Mr. Myburgh.
Well, this was done with the earlier witness, but what is the point? Is there something written there by this author that concerns him that he wants to refute?
Yes, well, basically, Chair, this book highlights that Major Nchisi might have benefited from the landing of this aircraft by receiving a promotion, in the sense.
Just ask him that question.
Indeed so, Chair. Major Nchisi, I'm not particularly certain that you've read the contents of this book, but Mr. Myberg, in his book, relays that you benefited from being warrant officer to a major within. It was a huge acceleration without going through the proper processes, and your colleagues were surprised that you had gotten a promotion out of nowhere. What do you have to say to this?
Ukuya ngencwadi ke ebhalwe ke na uPeter Louis Mayberg ke na ke maqondana ke na ke nokuthunjwa kombuso uchaza la ukuthi ke uhlomlile kakhulu ke na ke wena ke ngalesenzo osenzile ke ngoba uye wa sekena ke uyasuswa esikhundleni ke na ke so from which rank to which rank?
From warrant officer to where he was until the position of today, which is major.
Ukusuka ku warrant officer ukuyofikela ke ku major ke kulapho ngisho na boza kwenu osebenza nabo baye bamangala ukuthi kuza kanjani ukuthi ukhushulwe nje sibhudubudu kanjani.
Incwadi bengakayifundi. Angazi Chair, ngakhuluma imizwa yami la.
Well, ungakhuluma nje ukuthi uthini ngalento abayishoyo. You can just respond to what they say is alleged in the book about you. I'm sorry, Mr. Interpreter, I see I took over. Okay, all right, yes.
Yeah, but ungaphendula nje kuloko ummeli athi ke bathi kwenzakele mayimizwa yakho ke usho wena ukuthi ke na ke uthini ngaloko mhlawumbe.
Umnumzana obhalele incwadi. Ukhuluma manga. Yikho bengibuza hlala ukuthi ngakhuluma imizwa yami.
The authorship of this book is not telling the truth. That's why I was asking the chairperson if can I explain my feelings about this, Your Worship.
Well, that author is not giving evidence before the commission, and as far as I know, and I don't know if he has substantiated those allegations.
Chair, we had a conversation with Mr. Myberg yesterday, late afternoon, about presenting this book and perhaps also handing it up as also an exhibit. He was more than happy in doing that.
Yeah, but is he coming to give evidence to substantiate the allegations?
No, he's not coming to give evidence, but he
Yeah,
was more
if
than
he's
happy
If he's
to.
not going to come and substantiate the allegations, I think it's enough if the witness refutes that allegation. And I say the witness hasn't been given a chance to look at the book. So if at a later stage the witness has looked at the book and it appears that there is something more, then we can look at that.
Indeed so,
But
Chair.
I think at this stage, let's try and finish with this witness. I think what was important about this witness is really his role with regard to the clearance and maybe one or two things. A lot of things are not in dispute.
Indeed so, Chair. Just for purposes of Major Nchisi, where he is mentioned in his allegations is on page 148 of the book, and 150 and 151. I'm just talking about the context, not the paginated bundle. So I'm talking about the book's actual page number and not the bundle, Major Nchisi, so you can refer to the book.
Page what?
Page 148, 150, and 151.
Yeah, kula macepa bawachazayo kula kubonakala ungazathi uthinteka khona kulapho ungahle mhlawumbe ulahlele amehlo khona uzwe ukuthi bebaphawula bathini ngawe.
Apologies, Mr. Chair, just a correction. Mr. Myberg had actually agreed to us referring to the book and not us handing them up as exhibits. Be that as it may, due to the fact that the witness has not read the book, in any event, he cannot refute it substantially.
Yes, let's get on. Are there any other questions about the real issues that this witness is here about?
No, Chair, we have covered the issue of the request, the processes that the witness has relayed, and from us, there aren't any further evidence to be led for Major Nchisi.
Major Nchisi, as you sit there, do you accept that the landing of this aircraft at Waterkloof should not have been authorized?
Njengoba uhleli la manje ke uyavuma ukuthi ke na ke leyo ndizamshini ke eyayafikela lapha eWaterkloof ke beyingafanelanga iyenzeke leyo nto leyo?
Yebo.
Yes.
You appear to have opposed the authorization of the landing of this aircraft up to a certain point. Is that correct?
Kubonakala ungazathi kukhona labo ungavumelani nokuthi leyo ndiza ingafanele ukuthi ke na ke izozinzalana ke ukufikela kwisigaba esithize kunjalo?
Yebo kunjalo.
That is correct.
Am I correct to say that from a certain point you appear to have been prepared to go along with the authorization?
Qiniso ukuthi kepha ke kuye kwenzeka ukuthi ngesithuba esithize ke uye wasuyabona ukuthi cha mangivume ukuthi lokho kwenzakale wase uyaqhubeka naleso sicelo noma i-authorization?
Yebo kunjalo.
That is correct.
Do you want to confirm to me again why it is that you changed your mind about and decided no longer to oppose the authorization?
Uyafuna mhlawumbe ukuchaza ukuthi kungani uye washintsha umqondo ke ukuze ke ungasabi nokuphikisana nokuthi ke na ke lesicelo singaqhubeka?
Isizathu salokho i-email engayithola iphuma eDerco ibhalwe uMr. Mozilla iphuma kuMr. Kolani.
The reason for that, Your Worship, is the email I got from DECO, which was written by Mr. Mozilla.
Mr. Kolani.
Which was sent to me by Mr. Kolwane.
We did discuss that, and I just wanted confirmation. So it was that email from Mr. Mozilla that made you change your mind, and what else?
Ileyo email ke evela kumnumzana uMachila kwenza ukuthi ushintshe umqondo nani futhi?
Iyokuphela.
Only the email.
Were there any conversations you had with anybody that also persuaded you, or it was only that email?
Ukhona umuntu oye waba nengxoxo naye oye wakugqugquzela ukuthi uzovume noma ke kwakuyile email ke eyayivela kumnumzana uMachila kuphela?
Izingxoxo kwaku Colonel Anderson uMr. Kolwane kwasiba email.
The talks were only between me and Colonel Anderson, Mr. Kulwane, and then that was now the email.
Yes, but what I'm asking is whether you are saying it's only what was written in that email that persuaded you to change your mind, or are you saying it was what was in the email plus the conversations that you had with other people?
Ukucacisa ke uhlalo ukuthi ke okwenze ukuthi ke uze uvumeke ukuqhuba leso sicelo iloko kuphela ebekade kushiwo ku-email noma ngaphandle kwe-email kukhona okunye kwenza ukuthi nawe uzushintsha umqondo ke okwaba mhlambe inkulumo phakathi kwakho nomunye noma abanye abantu?
Kwakuyi-email kuphela kwangekho omunye umuntu wayengiphusha ukuthi ngiqhubeke nesicelo.
It was only the email, Your Worship. No one else influenced me to change my mind.
You said earlier on, if I understood your evidence correctly, that if you were not satisfied that the requirements that a particular aircraft should be authorized to land after looking at whatever DERCO sent to you, you would be entitled to, or not to process the request. Was my understanding of your evidence correct?
Mangabe sikuzwe kahle ufakazi bakho eqaleni uthi mangabe bekunesicelo esivela khona mhlawumbe kwaDeco kepha ke na ke singakwenelisi noma ke na ke izinto ke ezichazwayo lapho kuleso sicelo zingakwenelisi ke na ke bowungahle mhlambe ke na ke ungavumi ukuthi ke uchubekise leso sicelo.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is correct.
So, why did you not refuse to process this request? Because one, you have told us that this letter or email from Mr. Mozilla was not a note verbal, and two, it did not have its contents did not cover some matters that would be covered in a note verbal. Why did you process it nevertheless?
Uthi ke kungani ke na ke ungazange ke wale ukuqhuba leso sicelo ke ngoba ke le sicelo ke bekungasi non verbal ejwayelekile kanti le email benganawo eminye imininingwane ke na ke zinto ezithize ezifanele ukuthi ibe nazo ke ukuze ke ungakwazi ukuthi usichubekise.
Isizathu salokho because isizathu salokho ngoba ngase ngikhulumile no Mr. Kolwane esebhalile naye i-email yokuthi ngiqhubeke nesicelo ese-approvile.
The reason for that is that I had already had some talks with Mr. Kolwane, and he already written to me, your chairperson, that I must go on with processing the request.
But were you permitted, did you have power to process the request just because Mr. Kolwane said process it, even if you were not satisfied that it met the requirements?
Kodwa wena ke bewunawo amandla ukuthi uqhubekise leso sicelo noma ngabe umnumzana uKulwana uthe siqhubekise ekubeni wena ke awuneliswa ke na ke imininingwane ya leso sicelo.
Ngangenawo amandla yikho isizathu ukuthi ngase ngiqedile ngesicelo ngasisa ku Colonel Finalizing.
I did not have those powers, Your Worship. That is the reason why when I finished processing the request that I took it to Colonel Finalizing.
Are you saying you did not have the power to refuse, or are you saying you did not have the power to authorize or to process the request in those circumstances?
Ngamanye amagama uthi uchaza ukuthi bewunganamandla okuqhubeka naleso sicelo noma uthi bewunganamandla okwala ukuthi ke na ke uqhubekise lesicelo.
Hlala uma uhleli ukule situlo engangikuso uma usukhulumile nomuntu ophethe ophezulu.
Chairperson, if you were on the position I was at that point in time, and after you shall have spoken to someone senior than you,
ngokunika i-clearance number kuleso sicelo salondiza,
by giving the clearance number to the requests of that flight,
ngamanye amazwi ngithi indiza ethile isine number yokuthi ingangena eSouth Africa.
in other words, I say a specific flight with such and such a number has got the right or permission to get into South Africa.
ngokuyinika inamba angisho mina ngokwami ukuthi isingangena.
By giving it a number, Your Worship, I don't say myself per se that it is allowed to enter, Your Worship.
Ingakho mase kufike leso sigxathu bese uyithatha uyisa kumuntu okuphethe.
That's why when it comes to that, you have to take it to the person who is senior than you.
So is the position that whatever you thought of the request and whatever you thought of the email from Mr. Machila, you were obliged to take the request to Colonel Van Zyl?
Ngamanye amagama okushoyo ukuthi owakucabanga ngaleso sicelo ke nongabe wena bokubona kule email evela kuMnumzana uMachila uye waphoqeka noma waphoqeleka ukuthi wena uthathe uyise leso sicelo kuMnumzana Van Zyl.
Kunjalo ingakho masuqede ngesicelo usithathe usise kumuntu okuphethe.
That is true, Your Worship. That is why when you finalize the request, you must take it to the person that is in charge.
It's very important that I understand this part because it relates to the last stages before the authorization. My understanding of what you said earlier on was that if you were not satisfied that this request was in order, you were not obliged to process it forward.
Uthi kubalekile ukuthi ke azusise lana ke ngoba ke siya emaphethelweni okufakwa kwaleso sicelo mase kuzwe kahle ebufakazini bakungaphambileni uthena mangabe bewunganeliswa yileso sicelo ke kungekho ngendlela ongaphoceleka ngakhona ukuthi uchubeke usidlulisele phambili.
Did I understand your evidence correctly in that regard?
Sikuzwe kahle ebufakazini bakho maqondana naloko?
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is so.
Ingakho kwaze kwafika enkulumeni lapho ngikhuluma khona nomnumzana uKolwane.
That is why it eventually came to the talks between myself and Mr. Kulwane.
Isizathu salokho isizathu salokho ukuthi nganganelisiwe kwaseqaleni.
The reason for that, I was not satisfied from the onset.
Yes, I'm trying to understand what made you change your mind. And earlier on, we talked about the contents of the email from Mr. Machila.
Uthi yebo ungako azama ukuthi azwisise ngoba okokuqala sikhuluma ngokwakushiwo ke na ke i-email evela kuMnumzana uMachila.
And I even asked you whether you were also influenced by conversations you may have had with other people other than the contents of the email, and you said you were influenced, as I understood you, only by the contents of the email.
Kungako ayewabuza ukuthi mhlambe ke na ke kukhona abantu abathiza baye nabo waxoxisana nabo okuyibo mhlambe abagqugquzela ukuthi uzushintshe umqondo kepha wena wathi cha kunabantu ke oye waxoxisana nabo abayenza ukuthi uguqule umqondo okwenze kuphela ukuthi uguqule umqondo kwakudaba le email kuphela.
Did I understand you correctly so far?
Yebo sir.
Ukuzwe kahle ukufikela manje ngalo.
Yebo.
Yes, okay. So then I come back to the question, why did you not say, I'm not processing this request forward because I'm not satisfied that it is in order?
Kungani ungazange unqabe uthi ke angisiqhubekisi isicelo angisiqhubekisi lesicelo ukuya phambili ke ngoba anginelisekanga ukuthi ke na ke si ngendlela esemthethweni.
Ngangeke nqabe hlalo sekufike incwadi ethi ngiqhubeke nesicelo.
I couldn't have refused chairperson if there was already an email that I must continue with processing of the report.
once you received the email from Mr. Machila, are you saying it was not open to you to satisfy yourself whether the request was in order, and all you had to do is take it forward even if you did not think it was in order?
Ngamanye amagama uchaza ukuthi mangabe sewuthole lencwadi evela kumnumzana uMatshila ke wawungasavumelekanga ukuthi uzinelise uwenze ke na ke isiqiniseko sokuthi leso sicelo sisemthethweni ke na ke okufanele nje ukwenza ukuthi uqhubeke naleso sicelo ukuya phambili.
Njoba bese ngichazile sihlalo uma kade usukhulume nomuntu ophezulu kwakho kuthiwa uyena ophethe kulowo ndawo and sihlalo esiphezulu and esho ukuthi aqhubeke nokulenda kwaleyo ndiza ngangasenawo amandla ukuthi ngithi cha.
Chairperson, as I've already stated, if you are in that position and there was also a person senior than you who informs you to continue with the processing of that flight permission, there was nothing I could do. I did not have the powers of refusing to do that.
Who was the person who was senior to you who had said you must go ahead with the request and process it?
Ubani umuntu wayengaphezu kwakho oye wakiyalela ukuthi qhubeka nokuqhuba leso sicelo?
Engichaza ukuthi umuntu engase ngikhuluma naye osina hayi uthi umuntu osemasojeni, umuntu esasebenzisana naye kodwa engaze ngikhulume naye. Lo muntu osina uMr. Kolani osebenza eDelco.
If I say a senior person, Your Worship, I don't mean someone who was at the army itself, Your Worship. It's someone we were working hand in hand with, Your Worship, who was from DECO, Your Worship, who is Mr. Kolwani.
I would have thought that the person that you may have been obliged to obey if he gave you any instructions along those lines would have been somebody within the SNTF or within who was your senior at work, not somebody from another department.
Uthi yena ke bakazocabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe mawuthi umuntu ke ongaphezulu kwakho bewusho umuntu ola embuthweni wamasotsha ke la usebenza khona hayi omunye umuntu ke na ke ophuma ke na ke ngaphandle.
Iqiniso lelo sihlalo.
That is the truth, Chairperson.
Kodwa njoba sisebenzisana neDelco and mina ngaleso sikhathi ngisezingeni eliphansi ukuthi ngaba namandla okumisa okuphuma elizingeni eliphezulu.
Yes, but seeing that we were working hand in hand with DECO, Chairperson, I was in the lowest rank in such a way that I was not going to be capable to fight against the orders that are coming from people from the higher ranks.
Weren't you supposed in that situation to take the request rather to somebody higher and say, here is this request. I think it is not in order, but the people at DERCO say we must process it. What do you say? I don't agree. What do you say? Is that not what you were supposed to do in that situation?
Ngokubona ukuthi bakhona abanye la usebenza khona abangaphezulu kuwe ngesikhundla ke bekungafanele ukuthi uthathe leso sicelo uyisise kwabaphezulu kwakho uthi nasi isicelo esithize ke ngibona ungazathi ke nake asinelisi ke nake siyenze njani beungafanelanga ukwenzile lokho mhlawumbe.
Ingakho hlalo ngithe mangiqala yonke imininingwane engayithola ngesicelo ngathi ma ngifika ku Colonel uFansale ongaphezulu kwami ngerank ngamchazela yonke imininingwane engihlangabezane nayo kuze kufike kulesizathu sokuthi ibe ne clearance number.
That's why, Chairperson, when I explained that after I came across the particulars that were in the email, that's when I went to Colonel Fanzale and I explained to Colonel Fanzale everything that happened or the whole process until where we were with the request.
Well, part of what you say suggests to me that what you are saying is that you were not persuaded that this request was in order, but because you were being told or instructed by somebody senior to you, but from DERCO, you were bound to take it to somebody senior to you at SNDF. And yet earlier on, I thought you said you were opposed to this request earlier, but later on you were persuaded that it should go ahead. Which is the position? Is it that you never changed your mind that it was not in order? Throughout you thought it was not in order, but it was for Fanzale to make a decision? Or is the position that although initially you thought it was not in order, after some time you thought it was in order and you took it to Colonel Fanzale? Which one is the real position?
Uthi-ke okuyikhona ukuthi kubonakala ungazathi-ke uyeke na-ke waba nokusola macona nalesicelo-ke kepha-ke ngoba kwaphuma umyalelo ovela phambi ovela emntwini-ke ophezulu-ke na-ke edekho-ke ikhona okwagcugcuzela ukuthi-ke ugcine uchubele sicelo kepha ngaphambilini-ke na-ke uye wathula ubufakazi bokuthi-ke na-ke cha ukwenzile lokho ngoba uthole i-email ethi kwenzeke kanti-ke na-ke ekugcineni uye wabona ukuthi noma unokusola okuthize mangithathe lesicelo ngisise kuFanzale okuzoba uyena ozothatha isinqumo. Manje-ke usihlalo ufuna ukwazi ukuthi okuyikhona khona yikuphi-ke nako okwenza ukuthi ushintshe umqondo wenze ngaleyo ndlela.
Kwasekuqaleni sihlalo ngangineyinzolo ngangiphikisana nesicelo.
From the beginning, Chairperson, I had some suspicions. I was not satisfied with the request.
Yikho bengichazile ukuze kufike kulesinqumo sokuthi siqhubeke nesicelo kwaba yisiphi isizathu.
That is why I explained what was the reason for us to at last continue with this request.
Ebantwini engangikhulume nabo ngoba bese ngibashiya ukuthi ngobani.
The people that I have already explained, that I have spoken to, as I've already mentioned.
Isizathu esikhulu njoba ngishilo ngangafostwanga umuntu.
The main reason, as I've already stated, I was never forced by anyone.
Iphepha ngalithola kuyi-email elithi eqhubeka nesicelo yise senza ukuthi siqhubeke nesicelo.
The document that I received, which was an email which said continue, was the main reason why I continued.
So am I to understand your evidence to mean that nobody put any undue pressure on you to process the request up to Colonel Fanzale?
Masikuzwisisa kahle akukho umuntu oye wakufaka ingcindezi yokuthi uchubeke ukufikela uyofikisa ke lesicelo ku Colonel Fanzale.
Njoba bese ngishilo sihlalo abantu ababili engakhuluma nabo ku Colonel Anderson nomnumzane Kolwane yibo ekuthathelweni emagameni nami ku report ye cluster kuze kufike ngithole i-email isuke lo email yenze lonke ifile ize lofika kuKenneth Van Zyl.
Uthi njengoba usushilo abantu bokukhuluma nabo ubani?
Ngakhuluma no Colonel Anderson,
As I've already stated, from the people I spoke to, Colonel Anderson and
nomnumzana uKolwane.
Mr. Kulwani, and then
Ekhulumeni kwami nabo kuze kufike i-email ethi qhubeka nesicelo.
we wakhuluma ngeclass ngizwanga kahle.
Okay. Ekufikweni kwami kuze kufike khulume ngesicelo. Emagameni esasiwakhuluma nabo akuyi report ye cluster.
Till to the point where we were talking about the request, Your Worship, and according to what we were discussing with them, Your Worship, those talks, Your Worship, are in the cluster report and then email.
Ingakho kwaze kwafika esinqumeni sokuthi yonke i-report masibhaliwe phansi sehleliwe iye kuKenneth Van Zyl.
That is why it then came that after the whole report was compiled, that it must also lend to Colonel Van Zyl.
So at the time that the authorization was granted, would it be correct to say at that stage, you were in support of the authorization being granted, or would that be incorrect?
Ngaleso sikhathi ke na ke sekuqhubekiswa ke indaba yalesicelo noma authorization ke na ke kunjalo ukuthi ke na ke bewuvumelana nokuthi ke na ke leso sicelo singaqhubekiswa phambili noma bewunga neliswanga noma ungavumelani naloko.
Ingakho bese ngishilo sihlalo ukuthi i-report mayisiqediwe yafika kuKenneth Van Zyl ngamchazela ukuthi i-report ihamba kanjani. Bengebe nginawo amandla ukuthi ngiyiphikise ukuthi hayi isayine ungayisayini.
That's Chairperson, as I've already stated that after the report has reached Colonel Van Zyl, I wasn't going to have any powers to disagree with him how to go about signing it.
Just to conclude from my side, but you did say that as you sit there, your view is that the authorization should not have been granted.
Kepha ke uye wachaza noma wavuma ukuthi njoba uhleli lapho nawe ke umbono wakho ukuthi ke na ke bekungamelanga lesicelo size sivumeleke.
Njoba ngihleli lapha sihlalo indiza kwangafuneka ukuthi izilande eWaterkloof.
As I'm seated here, Your Worship, the flight was not supposed to land at Waterkloof.
And is that because it did not have a head of state or deputy head of state as one or some of the passengers?
Kungaba ukuthi ke na ke bekungekho ke umuntu ke na ke oyinhloko ke yesizwe ke kulabo bantu ke ababegibele kuyo leyo ndiza mhlawumbe.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is true.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Is there anything?
There's nothing left with evidence from our side for Major Nchisi.
Okay. Thank you very much, Major Nchisi. Is there anything that we may have left out that's important that you wanted to say?
Major Nchisi, kukhona mhlambe ke okunye okubalekile ekungahle kwenzeke singakuthintanga noma esikushiye emuva.
Okwamanje sihlala kukho.
At this moment, no, Chairperson.
Thank you very much for coming to give evidence. If somebody applies for leave to cross-examine you and they are granted that leave, we'll ask you to come back.
Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi uzothula ubufakazi mangabe ke bakhona abazawucela ukuthi bakufake imbuzo mhlawumbe bathintile ebufakazini bakho kungenzeka uphinde ke ubizwe ukuze ke uzokwazi ukuthi ke mhlabe imbuzo ethize.
Ngiyabonga sir.
Thank you.
I see some communication between counsel for Ambassador Kolwane.
Yes.
I don't know if there's anything I need to know.
I'm not particularly sure what the legal representatives of Ambassador Kolwane wants to put on record, but
Yeah, maybe-
Advocate
Maybe he could come
Mahon.
forward. Yeah.
Thank you, Chairperson. I won't
Yes.
detain the Commission for very long.
Yes.
We just wanted to place our position on record.
Yes.
We did not receive a Rule 3.3 notice in respect of this witness.
Yes.
So we obviously reserve our rights. We will consider in due course whether we want to exercise those rights.
Okay, no,
Thank you,
that's fine,
Chairperson.
that's fine, thank you. Thank you very much. You are excused,
Siyabonga.
Major Jesse.
Ungaphuma ke.
And thank you very much, Mr. Interpreter.
Thank you, Chairperson. May I also
Yeah, you are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I have noted the time, it being 4:20.
Yes.
However, we do have a second witness, Mr.
Yes.
William Mozilla.
Yes,
He has a confirmatory affidavit, which is quite short, but however, a confirmatory affidavit to the report, but however, there are annexures that he would wish to talk to. I do not believe that his evidence will be long. I estimate no more than 30 minutes, and that would be, to my best, an exaggeration.
well, you may be like me. I'm very poor with regard to estimating how long anything is going to take. So, well, maybe we should, I should listen to his evidence tomorrow morning. How many witnesses have you got for tomorrow?
Chair, we have 2 more witnesses for tomorrow. That would be Lieutenant General Msimang and General Mkwebi.
Yes. So, Mr. Machila would be a third witness.
Yes, Mr. Majid will be the 3rd witness. I assume that he's...
How long will the others be, more or less? Understanding that you don't have confidence in your own estimation.
I have been told by Ms. Norman Essie probably an hour each.
Yeah. No, I think let's start with Mr. Machila tomorrow. Is he available tomorrow?
Let me just relay this. Pardon? He is indeed ready for
Yes.
tomorrow.
Okay. No. Let me hear his evidence tomorrow at 10.
As the chair pleases.
Yes. We'll adjourn for the day, and tomorrow we'll start at 10. We adjourn.